Hey, what's going on? So it's your boy G Lewis, and I wanted to talk to y'all today about total wellness. I talk about wellness a lot, and I hear people talking about wellness, and what I noticed is when they talk about wellness, they limit it. Like I'm trying to get in shape, or I'm trying to get my mind right, or I'm trying to get right with God. Right? You hear them talk about it like it is an individual thing, when the reality is it's not. These things were meant to work together. Think of it like the colors, right? Red, blue, yellow. These are primary colors. When you combine red and blue, you get purple. When you combine red and orange, you get red and yellow, you get orange. When you combine yellow and blue, you get green. Same thing works with these things. So your mental and spiritual and physical are not only meant to work individual, but they're meant to work as a unit also. Because some of the things that you're trying to get through, you can't because you don't have the other levels up to par. So you might be physically fit with all the muscles in the world, but can't get your mind to focus on your goals. You might be at church every Sunday or every Sabbath, or you might be, you might pray 7 times a day. You might do all of these things, but wonder why you keep going back to the doctor because you're not focused on your physical wellness, right? Or you can be sitting there and you can be the smartest person in the room, but wonder why you're so sad, right? So your mental wellness may be sharp, but your spiritual wellness isn't grounded. So I'm going to go into a detail about these three real quick. So why does total wellness matter, right? Because everything we do, every emotion we feel is related to our total well-being. So if we look at physical wellness, making sure that you are healthy, making sure that you are physically well enough to enjoy the life that you have, right? Mental wellness, this is a big one. This is where you build resiliency. This is where you're able to snap back and learn how to snap back when something doesn't go the way it's supposed to. You're able to do it up here. It's to make sure that you're emotionally well. It can also help reduce stress. And it can help you, which is part of the resiliency. How you recover from situations is all part of mental wellness. And then this last aspect, being mindful. Mindfulness is a very interesting concept, but it's something that a lot of people don't focus on. Like, how many of us have sat through a conversation that maybe lasted 2 to 5 minutes, and at the end, you couldn't even tell anybody half of what was said? It's because mentally you were not present. Mentally, you were somewhere else because this information didn't flow all the way up to your mind, right? But then you have spiritual, right? And some people say, well, I don't go to church and I don't believe in God. That's not spiritual. Spiritual is whatever energy source that you feel that you need to connect to in order to be able to rise your or raise your level to how you are thinking, how you are producing, how you are living, right? It's if you look up the definition for spiritual wellness, it is called the process or state of finding meaning or purpose in one's life, right? So that could be religious, that could be ethical, that could be value, that could be nature, that could be all of the above. But that brings me to one of the things that I want to say, which is a lot of people say, man, especially in my community, black community, they say, man, how come we can't get along? How come we can't, we seem to have lost our respect for each other? That's a very easy question to answer because we've lost our humanity. And our humanity is connected to our spirituality. See, when you connect with a higher source, you start to see that source in yourself. It makes you want to do better. When you see this source that you're connected to and you are able to say, hey, if God could do it this way, then I can do it this way. And then you start to see that in other people. So it prevents you from robbing them, stealing from them, hurting them, doing wrong to them, because you see the source that's connected to you in other people. So to regain your humanity, you have to focus on spiritual wellness. Now, whatever source you use is up to you. I'm not here to tell people how to be spiritual. I'm just telling people that it is important. Like if you take the movie, I don't know how many of you seen this movie called Limitless, but it's pretty good, right? If you haven't watched it, look it up. In the beginning, so you have this guy. He's very intelligent. He's a writer for a living. So his mental wellness is okay. He's a writer for a living, right? He was in pretty decent shape, which means his physical wellness was okay. But what that pill did for him, it didn't wake up his brain. It connected his mental wellness and his physical wellness to his spiritual wellness and allowed his spiritual wellness to get well so that he could see clearly. And the first thing, what do you think the first thing this dude did when he took that pill and was clear? The first thing he did was clean up his house, because no person who has clarity would live in an area of dysfunction, whether it be physical, mental, or emotional. So that's something to keep in mind, the importance of why you want to have that. Not to mention, it connects you to your goals, to your purpose. So if you look at goals and purpose, physical is the actual work we're going to need to do in order to accomplish our goals. Mental is the planning that is going to take to make it happen. Spiritual is when that goal turns into a purpose. Why? Because it's when you go from thinking you can do something to knowing you can do something. So this is why it's very important that you don't work on one without the other. Yeah, I may go outside and work out, but I also set aside time to try to educate my mind. And I also set aside time to where I am not distracted and I am able to focus between me and God and say, hey, let me make sure I'm on the right page. Because I know if all three of those things are functioning, I'm functioning. And I'm only telling you this because I want you to function. This is G. Lewis. If you like it, share it. If you got any questions, feel free to put them down there, right? Because I like the questions. The conversations need to be had. And it's important that if you haven't started this, it's not too late to start. You can start today. So I challenge you to take some time out and focus on your connection with your source. Take some time out and focus on your connection with your body. Take some time out. Focus on your connection with your mind. And live a better life. I'm G. Lewis. I'm out, y'all.